Have you ever wondered why one ancient kingdom would go to such extraordinary lengths to dominate its neighbor? Well, it is a story as old as civilization itself. Here, along the life-giving artery of the Nile, two great powers rose from the dust. In the north, there was Egypt, a land of sprawling floodplains, monumental ambition, and a highly organized society. To its south lay Nubia, a realm of rugged cataracts, formidable warriors, and earth that held astonishing secrets. For millennia, these two neighbors were locked in a complex dance of trade, conflict, cultural exchange. Egypt, the larger and often more powerful of the two, looked south with an insatiable hunger, driven by a desire for the very things that made Nubia unique and valuable. It was an obsession that would define both their destinies. The story unfolds like the great river itself, a long and winding narrative, with dramatic turns. To truly understand this ancient power play, we must ask a few fundamental questions. What exactly did Egypt want so desperately from its southern neighbor? It was more than just a simple desire for territory. Secondly, why was Nubia, of all places, the focus of this intense ambition? What made this land, known as Kush, so uniquely tantalizing? And finally, what were the consequences of this relentless pursuit? As we shall see, the pressure Egypt exerted on Nubia would lead to a twist so profound, it feels almost scripted. The answers reveal a timeless tale of resources, power, and the surprising ways cultures collide and transform. So, what was the primary driver of Egypt's southern obsession? Before all else, it was gold. For the ancient Egyptians, gold was not merely currency or just pretty trinkets. It was the very substance of the gods, the flesh of Ra. This metal carried immense religious and political weight, eternal, incorruptible. It did not tarnish or decay, the perfect symbol of the afterlife and pharaonic power. When a king was entombed, he was surrounded by gold, funerary mask, sarcophagus, jewelry, all designed to secure divine status and immortality. Obelisk tips capped in electrum caught the morning sun and blazed like captured stars. Inside, god statues gleamed with what was thought to be the deity's skin. The pharaoh was draped in it, throne, sandals, ceremonial crook and flail. Gold shouted status, power, and divine favor without words. But geology posed a problem. A heartland rich in grain was poor in gold. Small eastern desert mines couldn't feed the appetite of pharaohs, priests, nobles. To the south, Nubian hills and wadis were laced with gold-bearing quartz. Egyptians called it Ta Seti, the land of the bow, and Nub, their word for gold. Nubia was powerful but precarious, defined by its resource. Egypt needed a massive, steady inflow to pay mercenaries, raise temples, and grease diplomacy.
In your country, gold is as plentiful as dust, one foreign ruler wrote.
Trade was one route, but as Egypt's power grew, direct control was tempting. Why buy the gold when you could control the source? While gold was undoubtedly the headline act, it wasn't the only draw. Nubia was a gateway, an emporium for sub-Saharan wonders. Luxury goods flowed north, decorating the lives of the Egyptian elite, the ancient equivalent of designer brands and rare supercars. To own them was to flaunt a connection to a distant, almost mythical world. The demand was insatiable. Chief among these treasures was ivory, carved into cosmetic jars, inlays, ceremonial spoons, even magical wands. Ebony, dense, light-absorbing, became furniture, statues, and game boards. Incense like frankincense and myrrh perfumed rituals and mummification. Ostrich feathers and eggs, fans of rank, rare curiosities. Leopard hides draped high priests. Even live animals, giraffes, monkeys, baboons, paraded status in private menageries. All these goods had to pass through Nubia to reach Egypt. Kerma and other Nubian kingdoms grew rich controlling this traffic. Egypt found this functional but inefficient. high prices, unpredictable supply, and leverage in rival hands. Pharaohs realized controlling Nubia wasn't just about gold, it was about owning the luxury supply chain itself. Control the corridor, control the brand of empire. And that corridor? A single river through a desert. Which brings us to strategy. When a river is your highway, gates matter. Egypt set out to build those gates. But how far would they go to keep them shut or open? Beyond glittering goods, there was a third critical reason: strategic location. In a world of vast, impassable deserts, the Nile was everything: your highway, communication, transport, commerce, a thin oasis from the heart of Africa to the Mediterranean. Control it, and you hold a continent's wealth. Nubia sat astride this corridor, geographic gatekeeper to the south. Control a section and you decide who passes, what moves, and at what price. Set up a toll booth. For centuries, Nubian rulers charged taxes and tariffs. Good relations, the river sings. Bad relations, the tap shuts, Egypt chokes. That dependency unnerved Thebes and Memphis, so they built colossal fortresses, Buin and others, with towering walls, moats, battlements, bastions, protect expeditions and intimidate locals. A brick and military statement: this road belongs to Egypt now. It was preemptive too. A strong Nubian state could threaten Egypt's border or trade, so Egypt pushed influence south, set up forts and colonial administrations to make a buffer zone. Goal: prevent a powerful southern rival. This was grand strategy, a geopolitical chess game on the Nile. And for a long time, it worked. But no fort is forever. Imagine two creatures on the savannah, a lion and a formidable buffalo, rivals yet inextricably linked. The lion needs the buffalo. The buffalo is shaped by the threat. So it was with Egypt and Nubia. Egypt's monuments, kingship, and economy were fueled by the south. The treasures Egypt sought weren't limited to inanimate objects. Nubia's vast herds were wealth, food, leather, motive power. Records show long-horned herds driven north as Inu, tribute from the conquered south. But even more valuable were the people. Egypt's projects devoured labor. Campaigns supplied captives and forced laborers for quarries, temples, elite households. A brutal reality, imperial glory on the backs of the dominated. Nubia's most famed resource? Soldiers, renowned archers from Taseti, the land of the bow, from youth, trained to deadly accuracy and discipline. Egypt integrated them, specialist units, crucial to the Pharaoh's army. They served in the Levant, garrisoned forts, even guarded the Pharaoh. Loyal, elite, indispensable, an iconic sight in New Kingdom forces. So Egypt saw more than gold and ivory. It saw a reservoir of manpower. Trade wasn't enough. In the New Kingdom, Egypt built a colonial machine, military force and bureaucracy, two levers of control. They appointed a viceroy of Kush, Pharaoh's powerful southern hand. Forts were more than walls, offices, depots, workshops, temples. Tribute was systematic extraction, logged with bureaucratic precision to feed the treasury. Egyptianization followed: religion, language, architecture, administration. Abu Simbel glared south, an imperial billboard in stone. Elites adopted Egyptian ways, their children schooled at court. Collaboration for some, loss for others. Identity strained under a foreign weight. Cultures never one way. Even empires get changed by colonies. Bit by bit, border towns blended, and that vibe reached Egypt. You start seeing Nubians everywhere. Soldiers, artisans, even royal spouses. Music, clothes, art, little shifts that blur the lines. They adopt, adapt, remix. Pharaonic forms with a Nubian twist. They build for a moon, sure, but keep older echoes, an Afro-Egyptian mashup. Empires fade, Egypt stumbles and fractures. Kush grows confident, organized, wealthy, ready. They pitch themselves as restorers of tradition, especially Amons. Around 747 BCE, Pi heads north, calling it a righteous reunion. That starts the 25th dynasty, almost a century of Nubian rule. A real renaissance, art, temples, ritual, sometimes more Egyptian than Egypt. They even take pyramids home, smaller, steeper, unmistakably Nubian. Kings like Taharqa rule from deep Africa to the Med. The student becomes the teacher.
Your divinity, the new temple wing is not small. Also, the high priest's solid gold boat, pricey. Send the viceroy a note. More tribute, please. Extra gold, and more baboons. The kids love them.
Expeditions wrote it all down like an aggressively detailed shopping list.
The pylon has to hit the solstice. And that giant rock? We just aim harder.
For centuries, art shows Nubians bowing. Then a Nubian wears the double crown. Punchline delivered. All right, bottom line, why the fixation on Nubia? Short answer? Same as any empire. It chased the core ingredients of empire: wealth, security, and manpower. Nubian gold fueled big dreams and divine image. Exotic goods fed elite tastes. Control of the Nile route meant safety and a check on southern rivals. And people. Labor to build it, archers to guard it. But it's more than motives. It's how power and culture tangle. Big kingdoms can push language, religion, worldview. The other side adapts, flips, and fuses. Over time, edges blur. Connections deepen, unequal but real. Then the flip, the 25th dynasty. Tools of empire turned by former subjects. Ideology, admin, military craft. Learned, refined, reused. When Egypt slumped, Nubia stepped in, not just free, but ruling. It's the pattern of history. Resources redraw borders and futures. Power and the powerless dance, resist, adapt, surprise. Egypt's obsession brought heaps of wealth, and eventually its own successors. They wanted Nubia's gold. In the end, they got Nubia's kings.